Hello, my name is Dr. Linda Gorman, and I'm a neuroscientist. That's a really big word. But a neuroscientist is a person who knows a lot about the brain. And I'm here today to talk to you about making your brain healthy or helping to make your brain feel good. It's really easy to do, and anyone can do it. I love to talk about brain health because it's spectacular, and spectacular means great. When your brain is spectacular, you're a happy, healthy person. Now, to spell spectacular, you need an S, P, E, C. And the first thing that helps your brain stay healthy is loving yourself and loving other people. That's the S for social. Being social means you love yourself, you're nice to yourself. It also means you like and are nice to other people. The second thing that helps your brain stay healthy is taking care of your body. That's being physical, and that's the P in spectacular. Being physical means you move your body, you eat to get energy, and you sleep to rest. The third thing that helps you to keep your brain healthy is knowing how and why you feel. Emotions. That's the E. There are lots of different emotions, and you feel different when you feel these different emotions. You can be happy, you can be sad, surprised, disgusted, or mad. These are all emotions that we can feel and experience. And knowing that we have different emotions and that we can control these emotions is very important to making your brain healthy. The fourth thing you can do to make your brain healthy is to think, but not just when you're in school. Cognition, that's the C, and that's a big word that means being able to think. Inside your head, your brain thinks all the time. So let's see how you can keep your brain healthy. It's important to have a healthy brain. In this story, which we've titled The Spectacular Way to Take Care of Your Brain, we will talk about ways that you can make sure that your brain is healthy. The easiest way for you to make sure that your brain is healthy is to remember that a healthy brain is spectacular. Knowing that the S in spectacular is for social lets you know that you can do all different kinds of things. And as your brain grows and you grow, you'll be able to do more things. Knowing that the P in spectacular is for physical means your brain needs food for energy, it needs you to move, and we know that your brain is taking care of you when you sleep. Knowing that the E in spectacular is for emotional means that we need to understand our emotions, and we know that your brain wants you to be happy. In fact, it has a happy place that helps you to get happy. And then finally, knowing that the C in spectacular is for cognitive, which is just a big word for thinking, your brain helps you to learn about the world around you, and we know that different people know different things. So let's see how we can make sure that our brain is healthy. Your brain helps you to do lots of different things. Can you think of some things that you like to do? What are some things that you like to do? Think about it. Well, you know what? Your brain helps you to do all those things. Your brain helps you when you're playing. Your brain helps you when you're at school. Your brain helps you when you're talking to your friends or to your family. Your brain helps you to do everything. And in order to do all those things that our brain helps us to do, we need to take care of our brain. So let's remember how we go about taking care of our brain. The first thing that you need to know is that as you grow up, your brain is also growing. And as you get bigger and your brain gets bigger, you're able to do more and more things. That's the S part of spectacular for social, because knowing yourself and understanding what you can do now and understanding that as you keep getting bigger and your brain keeps growing, that you're going to be able to do more things, that's going to help you to keep your brain healthy. When you're in first grade, there are going to be lots of things that you're learning how to do. Some things you learn will be easy for you, and other things will be hard for you to learn. You may love numbers, so counting and doing math is fun for you, but you may have trouble sounding out words. You're going to find that sometimes you think things are easy to do, and like you like to do math and you like numbers, but your friend, they may not like doing math and numbers because they have trouble with numbers. And there are some things that your friends are going to think are easy to do. They may love to read, but you find that reading is hard. Don't worry about any of this. It's okay. When you're in first grade, everyone is still growing, which means your brain is growing too. And everyone grows at different times. So both you and your friend, you're going to grow up and your brains are going to grow up, and pretty soon you're all going to be able to do math and you're all going to be able to read. And remember, you can always practice what you're not good at because that will help your brain too. When you're in first grade, knowing what we can do and what we can't do yet, that's going to keep our brain healthy because we have to understand our body and our brain is still growing. And if we understand that and we keep trying to learn stuff, that's going to keep our brain healthy. Plus, that's going to keep our body healthy too, because there are some things that when you're a first grader, you shouldn't be doing because those things might be dangerous, which will not help to keep our body and our brain healthy. Think about this. Why is it not a good idea for a first grader to cross the street all by themselves? Think about that. What do you think? Well, you know what? If you cross the street by yourself and your body and your brain aren't big enough to do that yet, you could get smushed by a car. That is not good and definitely not the way to keep your brain and body healthy. As you continue to grow and your brain continues to grow, there are going to be more and more things that you can do. And knowing yourself and knowing what you can do, that's part of being social. Understanding that right now you might not be able to do something yet, but you'll be able to do it when your brain and your body gets bigger. So knowing yourself, that's going to keep your brain healthy. That's going to keep your body healthy. That's part of our social health. Now, sometimes other kids might dare us to do something that's dangerous, but you need to remember part of the S in spectacular is that you're taking care of both your body and your brain. And so when to do something dangerous, like say they say, I dare you to play with fire, but you're like, I don't know if I should. What you need to ask yourself is, would playing with fire be something that's safe? Would that be something that will keep my body and my brain healthy? And if it's not, then you shouldn't do that because your body and your brain do so much for you that we have to remember that we need to do something for them too. And knowing what we should and shouldn't do, that's part of our social health. And that's part of keeping our brain and our body safe and happy. Now, the second thing that you need to do to keep your brain healthy is to give your brain the things that it needs to stay physically healthy: food, moving, and sleep. This is the P in spectacular, and it means taking care of the physical needs of both your body and your brain. We know that our brain needs energy to help us do all the things that we do. When we run out of energy, we feel tired, and our brain feels tired too. We also know that the brain gets its energy from the food that we eat. So we need to make sure that when our body and our brain needs food, that we do what we need to do to get it. That's going to make our body and our brain healthy. Another thing that will keep our body and our brain physically healthy, the P in spectacular, is keeping our body moving. Moving could be playing at the playground, riding your bike, going for a walk, anything that gets your body moving. But hey, wait a minute. How does moving your body keep our brain healthy? Well, remember, our body is made of lots of muscles, and muscles like to move. When your brain makes your muscles move, then your muscles are happy, and that makes your brain happy. We all know that a happy brain is a healthy brain. The third thing that you have to do to make sure that you're physically healthy is to make sure your brain and your body get enough sleep. Your brain works hard, both when you're awake and when you're asleep. Sleeping lets your brain rest a bit, but it also helps you to get ready for the next day. That's all part of physical health. Eating to get energy, moving to make sure your muscles are staying healthy, and then sleeping. Now, the E in spectacular is for our emotions. And it's important to understand that it's okay to feel different kinds of emotions, but you need to understand what those emotions are, like when you're sad or when you're angry. One of the things that you should try to do, because we know that inside of our brain, we actually have a happy place. So your brain has a happy place that's turned on when you're happy, and making your brain happy, that's going to keep you happy. And the easiest way to make your brain happy is to put on a smile, because when you put on a smile, that's going to turn on your happy place, and that's going to keep your brain healthy. The last thing we need to do to keep our brain healthy is to keep learning and thinking. That's the C in spectacular, and it stands for cognitive, which just is a big word for thinking. Your brain likes to know things. It then takes that information and it stores it away so you can remember it later. Being able to know things and learn things and think things, that is going to keep your brain healthy. So keeping your brain and your body healthy is important. And there are 4 things that you need to do to be sure your brain and body are healthy. And you can think about the SPEC, which is the beginning of spectacular, to help you remember that. So knowing that you can do things as you grow up, that's important to make your brain healthy. That's the S in spectacular, and that's for social health. So knowing that right now you can do some things, but there are other things that you can do when your brain and your body get bigger. That's important for your social health. Now, taking care of your physical health, which is the P, that means giving your brain the food that it needs for energy, making sure that you sleep so that you can get rest and get your body and your brain ready for the next day. And then, of course, moving your body. That's the P in spectacular, and that's for physical health. Then, when you understand all about your emotions and you know that it's okay to feel lots of different emotions, then you'll have good emotional health, which is the E in spectacular, and that will make your brain healthy. And then, if you use your brain to think and to learn and understand things, then you'll have good cognitive health, which is the C in spectacular. When you do all of these things together, then your brain and your body are going to be healthy, and that's spectacular. SPEC. Remember, if you take care of your brain, then your brain will take care of you. Thank you for letting me talk to you today about why brain health is spectacular. I've enjoyed spending some time with you and talking about the brain, and I hope that you've had some fun and learned something about your brain too. Remember, a healthy brain is spectacular, and the spectacular way that you take care of your brain is by taking care of your social health. So knowing yourself and what you can and can't do yet, that's the S in spectacular. The spectacular way that you take care of your brain is also by taking care of your physical health, which is the P in spectacular. And that means that you're eating to get energy, you're sleeping so that your body and your brain can rest and get ready for the next day, and that you're moving your body, the P in spectacular. The spectacular way that you take care of your brain is also by knowing your emotions and understanding your emotions. That's the E in spectacular. And finally, the spectacular way that you take care of your brain is by taking care of your cognitive health, by thinking and learning. That's the C in spectacular. Thank you so much for all of your help. We know that brain health is not just spectacular, but it can be fun too. And we'd like to thank the people from Johns Hopkins University, especially Dr. Ron Daniels, for helping us to understand how we can make our brain healthy by just remembering that our brain and our body being healthy is spectacular. So we have the S for our social health, and that's making sure that we understand that it's okay if we can't do things yet, because when our brain and body get bigger, we'll be able to. The P is for physically healthy, which means that we're going to take care of our body by eating to get energy, by sleeping, and by moving our body. The E in spectacular, that's to make us remember that we have all these emotions and that it's okay to feel these different emotions as long as we understand them. But we try to make our brain happy because that turns off on the happy place in our brain. And then finally, we need to always be learning and thinking because that's the C in spectacular, which helps us to remember things and help us to learn more and more about the world around us. So we hope that you've had fun learning about how your brain health is spectacular.